Good afternoon, Miguel Osio with the Winston Minute, our report at the markets closed. And today markets rallied. We saw a rally across the board in U.S. equities, or at least the large cap equity indices we watch. The Dow up 84 basis points, the S&P 1.09, and the Nasdaq 1.42% up. All of those highly sensitive to any rates news, any Fed news. Particularly the Nasdaq, as we saw with the most defined swing in the day. What does this mean? I mean, the Fed announces it's not going to raise rates for the rest of the year. People who made that bet celebrate because they're right. Some people are going to make money off that bet. But for the most part, I think the most important thing we're going to see here is that that's eliminated as a factor. It's eliminated as an investment factor. It sort of simplifies some macro strategies for a lot of people. It kind of eliminates that binary element of the rates rising or not. It does sort of set the tone of what the Fed expects for the year. It sets the tone for people's risk appetite for the year in a lot of respects. They're just going to pile on more risk since there's less to be gained from sort of their defensive positions. So you're going to see an unload of those defensive positions. Yeah, it's just the factor has just been zeroed out. So we'll see that rebalance, and we'll see what's sort of the new tone coming out of it in the next couple of weeks, and that'll be priced in. Next thing is Brazil's Ibovespa, the equity indices, suffered today on the news of ex-president being arrested in corruption probes, President Michel Temer. We were talking to our analyst and friend Luis Carvalho the other day just to cover Brazilian equities, and he was saying that the government and the society in Brazil is very focused on criminal indictments and criminal punishment for corruption and sort of financial crimes, and how they're sort of missing the point because they are getting these guys in trouble, but they're not benefiting from it. They're not getting retribution back into the economy. Definitely a great point. Definitely an interesting commentary on where Brazil is in its development path as far as courts and law, rule of law versus business and business friendliness, and etc. And my 2 cents, sort of from a constructivist, international development background perspective, I think it's good. I think it's overall good. I think he's right. They may be missing out on an opportunity to double dip on some of the crimes that are being trespassed in Brazil. But I think more importantly in the mid and long term is showing the international community that crimes are punished in Brazil, especially financial and government transaction crimes. And that creates confidence for investors in foreign investments. So, whether they are benefiting from it or not, they are moving in the right direction. And I think that ultimately, folks looking to invest in Brazil will benefit from these types of situations, as long as it doesn't interfere with businesses from positive growth. If it's not interfering from businesses from growing in a way that's positive or not unethical or illegal, I think this is good and only creates confidence. So that's all I have for today. Catch up with us tomorrow, and once again when the markets close, have a great night.